In the Old West, the population primarily consisted of men, including settlers, trappers, prospectors, and outlaws, leading to a significant gender imbalance. This situation created opportunities for women to establish themselves in the world's oldest profession. These resilient and resourceful women operated as sporting ladies, scarlet women, dance hall girls, night companions, or soiled doves, employing euphemisms to describe their profession. Remember to hit the like button because it helps us a lot. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and press the notification bell to not miss the upcoming interesting video. These photographs from the 19th century American frontier show soiled doves inside their bedrooms, mingling with potential customers and scarlet women showing off their wares for the camera. They reveal life from inside the brothels of the Wild West, where soiled doves mixed with some of the most famed outlaws of the day. Soiled doves, and sporting women as they were commonly known, were a fixture in Western towns and cities. As the frontier boomed and young men ventured west in search of work in logging, surveying, mining, and farming, there were not enough women to go around. Maps and population data from the time showed there were up to 20% more men than women in many fringe areas of the West where brothels flourished. Almost without exception, pioneer mining camps, boomtowns, and whistle stops became home to at least one or two soiled doves, if not a roaring red light district. Prostitution contributed heavily to town economies in business licenses, fees, and fines, and many red light districts evolved into the social centers of their communities. A district judge that visited Miles, Montana in 1881 described it as a lively little town of 1,000 inhabitants, but utterly demoralized and lawless. It is not safe to be out on the street at night. It has 42 saloons, and there are on an average about a half-dozen fights every night, he said. Although prostitution was largely illegal, visitors could easily find them by merely opening up the local or statewide directories, such as the 1895 Traveler's Guide of Colorado. This 66-page manual helped the interested client decide which brothel was right for him. As the industry grew, so did the number of women who approached prostitution as a business profession. Prostitution was a dangerous job, with many dying from childbirth or from venereal disease. But some women rose to become extremely wealthy, famous, and respectable citizens in their own right by becoming madams of their own brothels. As one of the best-known madams in the West, Mattie Silks of Denver, Colorado said, "I went into the sporting life for business reasons and for no other. It was a way for a woman in those days to make money, and I made it." Miss Silks opened up her first brothel when she was 19 years old and made $38,000, equivalent to $1 million today, in just 3 months running a bordello in Dawson City, Alaska. Meanwhile, Fanny Porter's luxurious brothel in San Antonio, Texas, was a popular haunt of Butch Cassidy's Wild Bunch, the most successful train-robbing gang in history. Several of her girls, like Etta Place and Della Moore, went on to marry Harry Longabaugh, better known as the Sundance Kid, and Harvey Logan, known as Kid Curry. Prostitute Laura Bullion even became a member of the Wild Bunch gang, supporting them by stealing stolen goods during their train robberies. Being a madam required a great deal of skill because, as well as monitoring the cleanliness of the brothel and providing training, cosmetics, and clothes, they has to keep their business transactions discreet and stay on the good side of the law. They did so by contributing money to charitable organizations, schools, and churches. Madams also had to deal with internal disputes, such as when Bessie Colvin, a soiled dove from El Paso, Texas, caused a stir when in 1886 left one house of prostitution for another. This caused her previous madam to punch Bessie's new madam, which was retaliated with a gunshot wound to the groin. Until the early 20th century, madams predominantly ran the brothels, after which male pimps took over and the treatment of the women generally declined. The Old West's most infamous soiled doves, Mattie Silks became on the best-known madams in the West, having brothels in Dodge City, Kansas, and Denver, Colorado, where demand for women was high due to the gold rushes. Maddie was a competitive businesswoman and engaged in a public duel with rival Madam Kate Fulton when she opened another brothel on her patch. Maddie was so successful that she netted $38,000, the equivalent of $1 million today, running a bordello for 3 months in Dawson City, Alaska. Maddie married at least twice and also kept a lover. She had a reputation for excellent service in her establishments and was known for sheltering the needy and homeless in her brothels. Belle Brazing was a nationally known madam in Lexington, Kentucky, and started her first brothel in the former residence of First Lady Mary Todd Lincoln. Belle catered to powerful men from Lexington and beyond, men who came to the city because of the horse business and tobacco. She gained a national reputation during the Spanish-American War, 1898, when U.S. Army units were billeted in Lexington, and she only allowed officers of senior rank in her brothel. Belle was so famous that her death warranted an obituary in Time magazine, that she is said to have been the model for Belle Watling in the classic novel Gone with the Wind. Originally from Hungary, Mary Catherine Harany, more commonly known as Big Nose Kate to her clients, traveled to Kansas at age 16 to seek her fortune as a soiled dove. Whilst working as a soiled dove in Fort Griffin, Texas, she began a relationship with one of the deadliest/legendary/gunslingers, Doc Holliday, which lasted until his death. Kate continued to work as a soiled dove throughout her relationship with Holliday, and even broke him out of jail in 1877 by starting a fire and pulling a gun on the prison guard. Julia Bulett, an English-born American soiled dove, moved to mining boomtown Virginia City, Nevada, in 1859, when she was 27 years old. As she was the only single/unmarried woman in the city, she became sought after by the miners and quickly decided to take up prostitution. Julia is often remembered as being the original hooker with a heart of gold. She donated large sums of money to miners in hardship, nursed victims of the influenza epidemic, and was much loved in Virginia City. When she was murdered by a French drifter in 1867, the whole town went into mourning for her. All the mines and saloons closed out of respect, and thousands attended her funeral. Born in Knickerbocker, Texas, Laura Bullion worked as a soiled dove in Fanny Porter's famed brothel in nearby San Antonio. It was here that Laura began a relationship with outlaw and member of Butch Cassidy's Wild Bunch, William News Carver. Although Carver initially denied Laura's pleas to join the gang at first, he eventually relented. The group admired her skill at stealing stolen goods and assisting their train robberies, and she was nicknamed the Rose of the Wild Bunch by them. When Laura was arrested after a train robbery in 1901, the chief of detectives Desmond noted of her, "I wouldn't think helping to hold up a train was too much for her. She is cool, shows absolutely no fear." Laura Bullion was released from prison in 1905 and lived the remainder of her life as a seamstress, dying in Memphis, Tennessee in 1961, the last of the Wild Bunch. Please like and share if you find the video content interesting and useful. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and comment below so as not to miss the upcoming interesting videos. Thanks for watching.